All right, back to the Smile movies. So I talked about Smile 1 in a video, and I talked about Smile 2 in another one. I'm still trying to decide which movie I like better because both movies are roughly a 10, for sure, no less than a 9.5. I'll definitely say the ending to the second movie was crazier. It was more bizarre in a wild type way than the first one. Um, you know what? I will tell you this. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. So if you didn't see the second Smile movie, or if you didn't see the first one for that matter, you probably don't want to finish watching this video. Unless you just want to. And if you don't care, doesn't matter. Either way, spoiler alert. Just I'm not taking the blame. Somebody. So look, here's the deal. This is according to Screen Rant. Smile 2's twist ending means Smile 3 must solve an impossible problem. Although Smile 2's twist ending is ingenious, it also sets up a major problem for the third movie. The second movie manages to take Parker Finn's sleeper hit from the first movie and expand on the twisty psychological horror in numerous ways. Parker Finn is the director of the film, the director of the two films. While the first movie focused on a mental health professional who was cursed after witnessing the death of her patient, the second movie centers on Naomi Scott's glamorous pop star Sky Riley as she struggles against the franchise's demonic villain. The second movie is based, the second movie's Sky is based on real life musicians, but her eventual fate is fortunately not one shared by any entertainment industry stars. I would certainly hope not. In the second movie's ending, she realizes that she has been trapped in an exhausting hallucination for an almost unknowable amount of time as the demonic entity wears down her defenses. Unable to stop the demon anymore, she finally succumbs to the monster while on stage at a concert. Smile 2's twist ending should be predictable since viewers guessed that the sequel would end with an entire concert's worth of witnesses being cursed when Smile 2's premise was first announced. However, Finn's misdirections managed to make the twist surprising, and it is a genuinely grim shock when Sky dies on stage. Matter of fact, now it just dawned on me. They basically showed part of that in the trailer, but yet it was still a shock when we saw the movie. I mean, I'm telling you, this is why I like these type of movies. It's like sometimes you kind of know what's coming, but at the same time you kind of don't. I think that's probably why the whole horror suspense genre is my favorite. So the second movie's ending forces the third movie to explain what happens to multiple witnesses. However, Finn's killer sequel ending has left the Smile franchise in a tricky position. The question posed by Smile 2's ending is whether every witness gets cursed simultaneously or not, and it is almost impossible to work out a satisfying answer. Presumably, every witness saw Sky die, which means they all get cursed at the same time. However, this would be pandemonium. Furthermore, the sudden onslaught of mass death could easily be traced back to the concert in Smile 3's story. While Smile 2's monster is slightly different from the original movie, it seems to operate the same. So, as we remember, to those of you who saw the first movie, again, spoiler alert, the main character, Sosie Bacon's character, she witnessed the. I'm sorry, no, it wasn't her. She ended up getting possessed by the demon. She killed herself, and the guy played by Kyle Gallner, he witnessed it, and then the curse was passed to him. Fast forward to the second movie, he kills himself, somebody else witnesses it, and then Sky Riley sees that person kill themselves, and now she's cursed with it. So whoever witnessed the death is the person who's cursed. Well, at the end of the second movie, this girl here, who's a music pop star, she's on stage and she's playing a big arena. This obviously there had to have been no less than 15,000 people in that room. And so she kills herself on stage, and 15,000 people see her die. So it's like 15,000 people have this curse now. I was like, how are they going to get through that? Now, and so what they're saying is Smile 3, because luckily it's been confirmed that Smile 3 is going to be a thing. I know it's way too early to tell now as of the recording of this video, but I predict that the third movie is going to be released in 2026. The first movie came out in 2022, and of course the second one came out last year. So hopefully this is like a every 2 years thing, and I think the third film would be the last one. But hey, if they do a fourth one, I'll be in theaters for that one too. So Smile 3 is going to have to explain that. Now, the Smile Demon wears down its victims over a matter of days, subjecting them to increasingly elaborate hallucinations that eventually lead them to take their own lives. Until now, however, the demon has done this to one victim at a time. The pattern is so consistent that characters in both movies could track the demon's progress by looking back through death records. The concert ending of Smile 2 leaves the demon with countless potential victims, but Smile 3's insular story can't focus on all of them at once. What makes the Smile movie so scary is their singular perspective. Now, why the third movie having multiple victims would be so problematic, I can only imagine. The Smile movies need to center on one victim since they take place inside the heroes' heads. Smile 2 killed off Joel early, so the sequel had a fresh perspective, but its sequel can't be about thousands of people at once. In fact, an ending similar to Smile 2's twist already killed another iconic horror franchise when 2017's Rings didn't know how to follow its similar twist. I didn't see that. I'm going to have to check that out. That reboot ended with the cursed video going viral, and despite its box office success, never received a sequel. Now, Smile 3 must find a way for Smile 2 to avoid the same fate. So, again, I remember me and some friends were talking about this, and we were like, if they do another movie after this, how are they going to do that? Like, how is that going to be? And unless you're going to have, well, no, I don't know. You have 15,000 people in that room. So let's say 7 or 8,000 of them just killed themselves because they were overwhelmed with this disaster, this catastrophe. Other people are still seeing that, which means they're still cursed. So it's like, how do you, I don't know what they plan on doing with this. This is definitely the craziest. This is one of the craziest suspense films I've ever seen. I think this is the best non-slasher suspense horror film I've seen since Insidious. If you didn't see Insidious, you're missing out. There's 5 movies. The first 2 were the very best. I think they're on Netflix and or Max. But yeah, that's quite interesting. And so as of now, we don't know exactly who's going to be, at least I haven't seen any articles yet, but if I do come across them, I'll do another video about it. So we don't know yet who's been casted or could be a potential cast for the third movie and what direction it's going to go in. I have no clue. But if anybody has any ideas, let me know. Like, what's your prediction? What do you see happening with that? And yeah, that's that. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. So I have a lot more things to talk about. I'm going to cover something regarding Scream. I'm going to cover the Fast and Furious films, the Jack Reacher films. Of course, I'm going to get into more and more action stuff, Mission Impossible, all that stuff. So subscribe to my YouTube. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Those are the only ones I use. If you see my name on anything else, it's fake. So that's all I have for now. Stay tuned.